Tonight, Broken Hill businesses getting ready to exit lockdown. And Taylor Walker among a number of Crows players to visit Port Augusta.
From our 7 Spencer Golf Studios, your nightly news with John Hunt begins now.
Good evening. After closing their doors almost 2 months ago, hospitality and retail businesses across Port Augusta have spent the day preparing to reopen on Monday. Under the public health order, they're only allowed to serve fully vaccinated locals.
Tables are booked, the taps are cooling down, and the first of many cleans underway. Broken Hill abuzz with just 2 days until businesses reopen.
Everyone's all eager to get back into it. I think 8 weeks is a long time to be sitting at home doing nothing.
There'll be density limits, no stand-up drinking indoors and, of course, check-ins, but locals can't wait to get back out.
They have their nights, they come through and have their meals, and they want to get back into their routine.
From Monday, the stay-at-home order lifts for the fully vaccinated, who'll be given freedoms similar to those before lockdown. Non-essential retail, gyms and hospitality businesses are only allowed to reopen to those who are double jabbed. A number of local businesses already receiving abuse from anti-vaxxers, accusing them of being discriminatory.
This is a decision that's been made for us by the government. The government's basically said, as a hospitality venue, if you want to open the doors, this is what you've got to do.
Those businesses must take reasonable steps to ensure patrons are fully vaccinated or face fines upwards of $5,000.
The onus should be on the individual, not on the business owner, to start asking people for their health information or vaccination status.
The unvaccinated have the same rights from December. That full reopening coming too late for the Broken Hill Festival, postponing again.
That'll mean 2 events for 2022 for the Broken Hill Festival. So a catch-up festival in March.
There's a long path to normality, but the first steps will soon be taken. Lachlan Itter, 7 Spencer Golf News.
And on its final weekday of lockdown, no new COVID cases have been identified in Broken Hill. But 5 new cases have been recorded in Dayton, on the southern edge of the district. The Chief Health Officer warning vigilance in following COVID-safe measures as fully vaccinated people regain their freedoms.
Please continue to wear your mask. Please continue to maintain that physical distancing. Use your QR code check-in. But please, most importantly, do not go out and about if you have any symptoms of COVID.
There's 36 active cases in Broken Hill and 49 across the far west LHD, the lowest total in more than a month. 3 people have been arrested over a series of crimes in Port Pirie throughout August and September. On September 17, police searched a Risdon Park home, seizing more than 100 items of stolen property, 8 grams of methamphetamine, and a modified baseball bat with nails in it. A 33-year-old woman was charged with a string of offences and was remanded in custody. More stolen items were later found at a Port Pirie West property. 2 27-year-old men were charged with multiple offences. They appeared in court and were remanded in custody. The member for Giles will submit a petition to State Parliament next week in a bid to save the hairdressing course at Wireless TAFE from being cut. A range of hairdressers and barbers from across the city have also signed it.
Making sure future hairdressers in the Steel City can do their training at home. The member for Giles collecting signatures from establishments across Whyalla to try and save the hairdressing course at the local TAFE from the chop.
We've got over 500 signatures, people opposed to what the government and TAFE are doing in Whyalla, getting rid of the hairdressing course here in Whyalla at the TAFE.
Misty Hughes is wanting TAFE to publicly guarantee the program's long-term future. He wants the state government to do more to protect vocational courses in regional areas.
It's a real insult to expect country people once again to have to go to Adelaide to do a course. It should be done here.
The owner of Rock Paper Scissors conducted her formal training at the local TAFE. She credits it for helping her establishing a successful business.
School-based apprenticeships, you start at 15. As a parent, I probably wouldn't be comfortable sending my child away for 2 weeks every term. It's not really realistic.
In a statement, TAFE SA's chief executive says they remain committed to Whyalla and enrolments for hair and beauty programs are open next year. Mark Zeta, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Adelaide Crows players, including Taylor Walker, have made a special visit to Port Augusta, taking part in a community day organised by a local radio station. The club looking to build a valuable relationship with Indigenous communities.
An event kicking goals on all fronts. Umawera Radio hosting the Port Augusta community for a day of activities and culture. The radio station also hosting some special guests, with players from the Adelaide Crows visiting the city.
It's been a lot of fun being here. Obviously Tariq's from here, so it's good to learn a bit more about his culture and hang out with his family and friends, so it's been a lot of fun.
Port Augusta local Tariq Newchurch was joined by Riley Philthorpe and Taylor Walker at the event. It was a poignant moment for Walker, taking one of his first steps in his commitment to educating himself, after being suspended for 6 matches for making a racial slur in July. The stop in Port Augusta is part of a planned tour with the Adelaide Crows Indigenous program.
Yeah, going from Adelaide, a bit colder, so it's been beautiful here for us, nice and warm, so I'm absolutely loving it.
The Dusty Feet mob mesmerising the crowds with their dancing before getting the Adelaide Crows players to join in. Although a little stiff in their movements, the players fully embraced the local Port Augusta community.
It's been a lot of fun. It's always nice meeting fans and people of the community, so it's been a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it.
Edward McCarroll, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Still to come tonight, Broken Hill Library's redevelopment gets a major funding boost, and construction begins on our region's newest national park. Welcome back. A motorist has been caught speeding and drink driving in the state's far north. At around midday on Monday, patrols detected a vehicle travelling at 148 kilometres an hour in a 110 zone on the Stewart Highway near Glendambo. The 63-year-old Port Augusta man also recorded a blood alcohol reading of 0.116. He was issued with a 6-month instant loss of licence and fined $1,521. His vehicle was also defected for major faults. It's been years in the pipeline, but construction on Broken Hill's Library precinct will finally become a reality. The project getting a multi-million-dollar boost, and ratepayers might not spend a single cent on it.
From car park to cultural precinct, Broken Hill's CBD library is now ready to begin thanks to $8.7 million from the federal government.
This is a shovel-ready project which the government said they wanted. It is a big legacy project for the community and will be turning soil very soon.
3/4 of the $20 million construction cost have now been covered without ratepayer money. Council in talks with the BHP Foundation and state government to cover the remaining costs.
It always seems to be a shame that you walk through there to a car park, and this will really, I think, bring that part of the town to life.
The idea hasn't been without controversy. Some locals and councillors questioning the need for a library in today's age and expressing concerns over parking.
Libraries of old, which are made up of books, will still exist, but there's going to be new activation that will be included in this site.
Stage 1 will see the main library and archives facility constructed, the facade refurbished and a new car park and landscaping installed.
Everything's in place. We've got the DA approved for the building and it's let's go.
Tenders will open within weeks. Lachlan Itter, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
New construction projects have begun in the Flinders Ranges to protect and allow better access to a series of unique fossils. The Environment Minister says the new site is a must-see destination for both tourists and researchers.
Shining a light on the formation of life. South Australia's newest national park, Nilpena Ediacaria, is quickly becoming a reality with construction underway. It's home to the world's best examples of Ediacaran life, one of the earliest forms of the evolution of complex multicellular organisms.
All in virtually one place. To visit some of the sites that are similar, you would have to go to, outback Russia. The fact that we have it all together here is what makes it really unique.
The $3.3 million project will see a fossil trail built along with the reconstruction of the Nilpena blacksmith shop, where one of the best preserved fossil beds sits.
Crews up there working really hard with signage, preparations, parking areas, and changing that whole aspect of that area.
These developments also playing a crucial role in the Flinders Ranges World Heritage bid.
If you haven't heard of this place, get online, investigate it, immerse yourself in this history and visit here in the future.
We have those 3 layers of history, whether they be our Indigenous history, our pioneering history, and of course with the scientific history with the 7 sites.
Edward McCarroll, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Port Pirie Regional Council has made the decision to reopen the public toilet facilities in Memorial Park. Mayor Leon Stevens says council is going to monitor them after its closure was caused by vandalism in the past.
Listening and taking action. Port Pirie Regional Council has reopened the public toilet facilities in Memorial Park for general daytime access. It follows community concerns about not being able to access them, resorting to people crossing the road to use the ones at Memorial Oval.
It came from the floor from Councillor Jackson that, okay, why don't we just leave them open and just monitor them and make sure that they're not vandalised.
Mayor Leon Stevens says the toilets had been closed due to extensive vandalism in the past. However, they were able to be open during booked events at the park. Council looking into the cost of fitting automatic closing mechanisms on the toilets or even a new facility.
There's probably $150,000 budgeted for next year's budget to actually put a designated toilet block in Memorial Park.
Council is encouraging anyone who visits Memorial Park to remain vigilant and report any vandalism in order for the facilities to remain open.
And we're just urging public that if they see anybody doing something terrible to our toilets, just consider the people that have to clean them and the money that it costs you as a ratepayer for us to clean up that.
Katrina Musson, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Stay with us. A number of projects in the Seat of Grace secure federal funding. And Port Pirie kids go bike riding to learn more about road safety. The upcoming South Australian grain harvest is on track to be the most valuable on record. A new report from the state government estimates the farm gate value will reach a record $2.8 billion. The Minister for Primary Industries says above average rainfall in July has significantly contributed towards crop establishment and replenishment of soil moisture reserves. The report estimates an area of 3.9 million hectares has been sown statewide. 10 towns across the Spencer Gulf will receive a share of federal government funding for projects to help their community. The grants are part of the 5th round of the federal government's Building Better Regions Fund.
It's being described as a major investment for various communities across the Spencer Gulf. Almost $10 million will be handed out for 10 projects as part of the federal government's Building Better Regions Fund.
I think it's a reflection of the diversity of Grey, the great opportunities that exist within, the passionate communities that sit within Grey.
The program's aim is to help regional communities create better economic opportunities. The 10 in the Seat of Grey are part of 300 projects across the country which were awarded funding.
If these communities are going to survive, if their football clubs and churches and councils and facilities, tourism facilities are going to survive and thrive, we're going to have to find new things to do.
One of those projects is for the Cleve Regional Boarding House project. $2.2 million was awarded for the construction of the facility, which will help apprentices in the agricultural and motor industries.
At the moment, boarding facilities in Cleve are very limited, but this will enable the entities to obviously attract more students.
Mark Zeta, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Port Pirie kids have been practicing their riding and road safety skills at one of this year's Kidtober events. Volunteers at the Road Safety Centre teaching them how to ride a bike and ride it safely, hoping to keep more young people safe on our roads.
Riding for road safety.
So we're teaching them to ride a bike safely and very basic road rules.
Hopping on their bicycles, these kids set off on a trip around a mini version of our roads, learning all there is to know about road rules and safety.
Learning roundabout. Practicing road safety because it's really safe to learn how to go on the road if you don't know how to go on the road.
And we're learning how to stop and be safe when we drive or ride bikes and scooters.
It's part of Kidtober's calendar of events, giving kids the opportunity to get outside and have fun while riding safely.
I learned road stuff and it's been really fun.
And we all maintain the thought that if over the years we can prevent one child from one accident, then all our time's worthwhile.
Even the local police stopped by, making sure riders stick to the rules. They hope today's session will see more safe drivers on our roads in the future.
I certainly hope so, looking at some of them, as long as we can slow some of them down. But yes, most of them are very safe.
Katrina Musson, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
This year's Miners' Remembrance Ceremony is shifted from the line of load to online. The annual service commemorates those who died working in the mines of Broken Hill and those who suffered ongoing health issues. The online presentation, streamed at midday, included a minute's silence and a flag-raising ceremony.
We commemorate Miners' Day each year on this day, 8th of October, a day on which we remember all those that were killed on our mines.
Leopold Campbell and Thomas Jordan died on the Central Mine on this day in 1902. Stay with us after the break. While residents urged to visit the Maritime Museum for an afternoon of jazz. And we'll have the weather details with Alex Sykes. Hello again. Teaports is inviting growers across the Upper Eyre Peninsula to pre-harvest information sessions. Meetings will be held at Rideau, Loch and Warrambu on October 19 and in Cowlin Kimber on October 29. Teaports is currently working to increase storage at their Loch facility by 40,000 tonnes. The company says the meeting will also provide an overview of their new grain export facility in Wallaroo. While residents are invited to take their picnic rugs to the Maritime Museum for an afternoon of jazz this Sunday afternoon. Jazz on the Lawn will be held at the centre from midday to 3 p.m. A number of acts will perform at the event, including Five-Sided Cube. A free shuttle bus will also operate on the day from the Kmart side of Westland Shopping Centre to the museum. For more information, contact the Wyler Visitor Centre. Time now to check what the weather is looking like for our region's various weekend activities. With all the details, it's good evening to Alex Sykes.
Thanks, John, and good evening, everyone. It's great to be back, especially after such a gorgeous day of weather. Unfortunately, the last weekend before the return of school isn't looking too dry. I'll have more detail on that in just a moment. From 3 p.m. today, Port Augusta was sunny and 27, Port Lincoln mostly sunny and 24, and Clare was 20. Looking further out across the region now, Wowler was sunny and 27, Broken Hill and Woodner were both 26, Port Pirie, Kadina and Cleve were all 25, Cooper Pedy was 30 and sunny, and Alfred's in Adelaide got to 22. Taking a look at the satellite image now, high jet stream clouds skimming over the southeast is not rain bearing. Clearer skies over the remainder of the state with a dry air mass and area of high pressure. Moving on to tomorrow's weather outlook now, and we'll start with the Gulf waters. North to northeasterly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas around 1 metre, and south to southwesterly swell 1 to 1.5 metres. Port Lincoln a shower to an 18 18 degrees, Cleve showers and 19. Showers also in Woodner with 20 degrees, showers developing in the upper Spencer Gulf, Whyalla 24, Port Augusta set to reach 28, Kadina 21. Port Pirie with a top of 24, Clare to reach 22 degrees, and Broken Hill will be sunny with a possible shower and 33 degrees. Showers across most of the region on Sunday, 18 in Port Augusta and Port Pirie, possible shower in Port Lincoln with 16 degrees there, Whyalla and Broken Hill to reach 17, Cooper Pedy showers and wind easing 21. Taking a look further through to next week now, showers will clear by Monday with partly cloudy conditions, 21 degrees in Port Augusta, Woodner and Cooper Pedy, Whyalla and Kadina will get to 18, 16 in Port Lincoln. Similar conditions on Tuesday, Port Pirie, Port Augusta and Whyalla will get to 26, Port Lincoln partly cloudy and 24, and 23 degrees in Kadina. Well, that's all the weather from me for tonight. Happy Friday, everyone, and stay safe for the remainder of the holidays. It's back to you, John.
Thanks for that, Alex. And that's the local news for tonight and the week. Don't forget you can follow us on social media at Facebook, Twitter and YouTube. I'm John Hunt, thanks for joining us. I'll have updates later, and Ruby Kimane will be with you in the chair on Monday at 7 p.m. Have a great weekend. Good night.